Hello everyone. So today, as it says in the title, I want to talk about goals because a lot of people talk about goals and they put a lot of emphasis on goals, but at the end of the day, we all have goals. We all have things that we would like to obtain in our life. Whether it's weight loss, whether it's our financial goals, whether it's business goals, regardless, we're all taught to have goals. But with that being said, what sets apart the person that achieves the goal and the person that doesn't? I know personally I have had a ton of goals in my life, and few of them I've actually stuck through to achieve them. And now there are systems out there. I mean, I've read a lot of books that talk about like how you break down your goals. I am starting to learn that is kind of crap. The goal is not going to get you to the goal. You have to have a structure. Like I said, everyone has a goal. So let's break down what it takes to actually get you to the goal. Two things that are essential are going to be your structure and your habits that are included in that structure. Your habits, we've talked about habits before, but they can either go one of two ways. They can push you into, sorry you guys, kids, this is real life. But anyways, your habits can either push you towards where you want to be, or they can take you away from where you want to be. So with that being said, let's talk about how, and a lot of this stuff, I read a lot, and I encourage you, never stop learning. That is probably the easiest way to start making changes in your life and start noticing things that you do that may be hindering your ability to achieve that goal, is that you stopped learning. Never think that you know everything. Always go into everything with, what can I learn from this? Because that mindset is going to open you up and it's going to allow you to absorb things. Whereas before you say, oh, I already know everything about this topic, so I'm just going to sit here and do nothing and ignore you. You know, like, you've got to watch your mindset. So don't stop learning in this process. But with that being said, so the book that I have read twice now it's called Atomic Habits. And man, if you haven't read it and you're trying to achieve something, I highly recommend that you read it, because it helped me identify the things that I was doing, and it helped me understand why. And then it helped me also identify the things that I was doing wrong and why I was stuck. So now that I'm moving forward, I kind of wanted to share with like my system. Okay, so structure. Structure is important, but we have to start at the top. So we have to constantly feed into ourselves. We have to constantly read and absorb and learn with that open mind. Then we need to take what we've learned and we need to apply it, because a lot of people, and me personally, I'll learn things and I feel like because I'm learning things, it's just gonna kind of magically come together, but it's not going to come together until you make it a system and then you follow through with the system. So learn, like, figure out what your system is. Figure out, let's say if you're trying to lose weight, let's think of the things that help when you're trying to lose weight. So your food and your exercise. So those are things that we need to track. So let's track our food, let's track our exercise. Another thing that helps you with that is knowing how to create habits towards those goals. So let's say if you are trying to lose weight and you started to track your food, you need to create a habit, which is your system, of immediately after you eat or right before you eat, logging your food. And you need to be aware of who you want to be. So if you're trying to lose weight, then obviously you're trying to be more healthy, you're trying to be more fit. And if that's the case, then what I would recommend is before you put that food in your mouth, say it out loud. Say, I'm about to eat this cookie. That's really stupid because I'm trying to be fit. Or say, what would a fit person do, or what would a healthy person do with this cookie? Like, when you say it out loud, you're hearing it, and then your actions become more clear because you're thinking of how they're going to affect your long-term goal versus that need for immediate satisfaction. It's all of a sudden not worth it when you're thinking of the 10 pounds later if you keep eating cookies every day that's going to come up with, versus the one no being on your path to success as losing the weight. So back to the structure. So we want to make sure like you have the goal and then you have the structure of how you're going to get it. So you know what you need to track, you know how you're going to track it, and you know what days and when you're going to track it. Then another piece of that we kind of already talked about is know who you want to be, not who you are. So many people are sitting there like, well, I'm not the person that typically keeps my house clean. I'm not the person that typically reaches out to strangers. You keep labeling yourself, but you don't realize that when you do that over and over and over, you really start to believe it and it really starts to form who you are. So let's change that into a positive way. Let's say, I am the person that keeps a tidy house. I am the person that eats the grapes because they're better than the cookie. I am the person that walks at least 15-20 minutes a day. Become the person that you want to be and tell yourself that's who you are. That is huge. That is huge on changing your trajectory and getting closer to the path and the goal that you're reaching for. So with that being said, I also wanted to talk about applying the system. Okay, so now we know what we want to do. We know how we're going to do it. We know when we're going to do it. Let's apply it. This is where you start to move. You can sit there and you can get stuck in this preparation stage and it can make you feel like you're doing something. But I want you to know, like when you're prepping, there's a time to stop and there's a time to start implementing the system. When you're doing the system, you're gonna find things like as you're trying to track your food, you're gonna say, man, it's really not convenient for me to track my food after I've done it, because then I'm not aware of what it is and I'm more likely to mess up or get discouraged. So I need to track it before, which means I need to plan my food. So you're gonna have to tweak the system as you go, but if you never start the actions towards the system, you're never gonna get anywhere. So have that in mind. Bo is turning on the radio, like, man, happy Thursday. Anyways, so make sure that you're not stuck in that pre-planning phase and make sure you're moving towards doing the actions that are going to get you to the goal. I heard it earlier in this way. So you've got a football team and the football team wants to win the Super Bowl, okay? Every football team wants to win the Super Bowl, so what makes the one different? Their system, and the fact that they implement that system and they do it every single day consistently, no matter if it's rainy or if it's sunny or what's going on. The team that wins is not the team with the goal, it's the team with the structure in place and the habits in place that are constantly causing action to move them into the right place. So I hope you got what I was talking about this. Pretty much to get to your goal, I want you to structure out how to get to your goal. Make some, like even if it's just a calendar that you're planning out, on Monday, I'm going to walk my dog for 15 minutes. On Tuesday, I'm not going to stop by the gas station and get that coffee and that donut. On Wednesday, I'm going to have a cheat day. On Wednesday, it's okay. On Thursday, I'm going to be back to normal and I'm going to walk 25 minutes and I'm going to eat a salad for lunch. Like you have to for me, I write it out and then I stick to it. Our brains also, we love to check things off. So I highly encourage like a check-off system. Just write a list of things that you're gonna do, a list of actions that are gonna get you towards your goal, check them off. And then you can duplicate it every day. Make it simple, because that's the other thing. If it's too complicated, you're probably going to give up on it. So keep it simple. Figure out your structure while you're doing the actions. And that's going to help you fine-tune it to get to where you want. And stay consistent. Another last little tidbit of information. Another thing is the moving paper clips. So you've got, let's say, you want to track your food for 3 days in a row, and you decided that you're just going to eat 3 meals, breakfast, dinner, and lunch. Every time, keep paper clips in your pocket, or beans or rice or whatever. Move 1 grain to the other pocket. By the end of the day, if you successfully succeeded, then you'll have 3 grains of rice or 3 paper clips in the right pocket and not the one where you started out. You can do that with anything. Just keep track and keep a visual and know who you want to be. Become that person and ask yourself, is this a habit of a healthy person? Is this a habit of a successful business owner? Is this a habit of a tidy housekeeper? Whatever your goal is, it's completely customizable. But just make sure you have the structure and make sure you are acting upon it. Make sure you're following the actions. Okay, I really hope that this was not too distracting with the kid going on. I would love to hear your input. So please comment in the comments anything that you would like me to elaborate more on, anything that was confusing, anything that any questions at all that you have. Feel free to put them in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and turn that little bell on for notifications. I love interacting with you guys. I love learning new things, and I love meeting new people. So don't be shy, say hi, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day.